Hey everyone, it's been 1 year since arriving in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's been a whirlwind of a year. It literally feels like a blur. All 2020 feels like a blur for all kinds of reasons. But today, I thought it'd be a good idea for Ashley and I to answer some of the questions that we get asked frequently on our YouTube channels. And that's what we're going to do. Ashley, can you believe that it's already been 1 year since we got here?
I can't. This year has flown by so fast. We've had all of the tornado, COVID, tornado again, more COVID, and then more COVID, and then election, and then Black Lives Matter. It's been a heck of a year.
It has, and it's quite a different day than the day that we actually got here. The day we got here, it was raining and it was cold, and today feels like, I don't know, maybe like a spring day. It's not too cold. And it's not hot at all.
I would say it's crispy.
Yeah, it's a little crisp.
a little crisp outside. But we thought we would film this video and do kind of a 1 year recap of what life has been like in Tennessee. We thought about doing a 6-month recap, but then didn't think that that was long enough to give you guys an accurate picture of what life is like in Tennessee. And now that we've been here a year, we've experienced all 4 seasons. We've experienced an entire year in Chattanooga. And so we want to share with those of you guys who are thinking about moving to Chattanooga or maybe visiting, and just our experience from our opinion.
And thinking back, this not only marks the 1 year of us getting to Chattanooga, but also a year that we started our YouTube channels, because what started us is the trip from California to Tennessee. So for those of you that have been following along since the very beginning, thank you so much. I hope you guys have enjoyed the videos. Our channels have been life in Tennessee, life in protesting, wide variety of different stuff that for you guys to hopefully enjoy.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Yes.
We chose a total of 9 different topics to talk about to you guys based on questions that we receive from our followers on YouTube, friends and family, and just people in general about making the move across California to Tennessee. So the way we're going to do it is the first half will be on my channel. The second half of the conversation will be on Mel's channel. So we will link each other's videos so you guys can finish the conversation and get your questions answered from both of our channels.
And if we didn't answer any of your questions, please feel free to comment your questions below in the comment section.
Mel, I'll ask you first. Give us just a brief summary of your opinion of just the move in general, like from living in California to Tennessee, and kind of a brief summary of the past year.
It's crazy how quickly I felt at home in Chattanooga. I had never been to Chattanooga before, as I said in other vlogs, and it just quickly felt homey. I do not miss California other than missing seeing my family, but then again, I've been back several times, thanks COVID for cheap flight tickets. And I mean, I don't know, like, did you feel at home right away?
Yes, since the night that we drove into Chattanooga, it's so weird. It's like actually it started once we crossed the California line, I think, leaving California. Like, this peace came over me, because there's something about leaving a state that's pretty much communism, and it definitely is now that we've left. You feel like you're back in America, right? And I was so miserable in California that, like, just crossing the state line into Arizona, I felt at peace. And then driving into Chattanooga, like, we drove in late at night. It was raining and it was pitch black at night. Yeah. And I immediately felt at home. Like, it's so weird. It's in a sense, it feels like I've been here forever. But at the same time, it feels like the year has just flown by.
Right.
But I can honestly say it's the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. And people think I'm crazy when I tell them, and I'm sure you get the same thing, that we just sold everything, packed up, and just left. Like, we're like, we can't do this anymore. And we just moved across. We're best friends. We just moved across the country together. And people look at us like we're crazy when we tell them that story. But sometimes I think you have to take risk to get the reward.
Right. If we don't take risk, then we're going to stay in the same stagnant place where we were, and then we're going to look back and think, man, like, we should have done this or we should have done that. And sometimes it's too late when we look back on stuff like that. And yeah, it was crazy. Not knowing anybody out here in Chattanooga, and then telling people, or people would ask us, like, do you guys have a place to live? Do you guys have jobs? And at one point it's like, no and no. because we didn't have a place to stay until maybe like a week or two before moving out here. We found a place, so that was a godsend. And then as far as jobs in California, we were doing DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart, Amazon Flex, any side gigs, we were doing it. And so that's what we were doing out here. And then COVID hit. One of the things that Californians always say, oh my God, I can't leave. I cannot see myself leaving California. It's because we have the greatest weather. It doesn't rain that much. You know, it feels like it's summer literally 12 months out of the 12 months because even on Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's never really cold. It's usually like 75 degrees, 80 degrees, depending on where you're living. And when I was telling people that I'm going to move to Chattanooga, they're like, oh my God, you're going to leave this sunny California and the beautiful weather. Well, I mean, the weather out here in Chattanooga or in Tennessee is different, but it's actually not as different as it was for us in like Riverside County. Riverside County is a very dry area, very hot. Some places gets up to like 110 to 113 degrees. In Hemet, where my family lives, it's been up to 113 in the summer. Out here in Chattanooga, because that's where we spend most of our time, it's never reached the triple digits this year. I think the hottest we might have had was probably like, I don't think it's gone over 90 degrees.
I think a couple days it got to about 98, 97
really?
Degrees.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think, and then people would say like, oh my God, it's so humid out there. But this past summer in California, or in 2019, it was so humid. It was so hot and humid. And I feel like we've had more humid days last year in California than we did here this year for us. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, this is the thing with the humidity, right? So this is something I want you guys to really know that are so terrified about the humidity. Don't be terrified about it. We had in like July, August, there was maybe a week or two in each where it was like pretty humid. But in my opinion, it never got humid to the point where like you didn't want to walk out of the house because you were going to die. Like I remember growing up in East Texas, it would get like that. Like it would be so miserable, you'd be sticky. There were some sticky days, but granted, the humidity lasts maybe 2 or 3 weeks out of the summer, and then it's just warm. Like it did get hot. Speaking of the weather, it's getting very windy right now. Hopefully it doesn't mess up our audio too much. It did get hot, but humidity is not like the whole year. Like you're looking at a couple, 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks out of the year. I don't even think it was that much. And then you're done. And then you actually have seasons here, which was nice. The summer weather was kind of crazy because like on the day, because it was humid, like there's a lot of days that it would just rain for like 15, 20 minutes, like a good old thunderstorm, southern thunderstorm. Yes. But then 5 minutes later, it's like it never happened. The clouds are sunny and it's great. So that does happen because of the humidity, but you're not looking at an entire humid year. Like in California, the entire year is hot.
Yes.
Here you get a couple weeks of humidity, but it was never intolerable. Like we still went out and did stuff.
Right. And out here, we're able to wear our sweaters. We're able to wear beanies. We're able to wear vests. Did have to invest in some, cold weather items. Like, who doesn't like to go shopping?
We invested in vest.
But yeah, as far as like the weather, it has not been bad. And then we have a bunch of lakes and rivers. We bought kayaks so we could go and enjoy them in the summer. And
tubes.
We have tubes.
We went
tubing. But it has not been bad. I do remember the first thunderstorm though that I experienced out here. We live in a basement apartment, so like everything there is magnified, and it was so loud. I was like, what in the world is going on? And then our landlord was like, oh hey, that's welcome to Chattanooga. That's thunder. It happens here a lot. So, but we haven't had any.
We haven't had any in a while.
I kind of miss them.
I do. At first I was a little scared of the thunder and especially the lightning, but now I think the storms are absolutely beautiful and honestly they're kind of peaceful.
Yep. They wash your car, it's
car
great.
wash.
So, Yeah, the weather out here for the most part. Oh, snow. We did get a little bit of snow. I think it was in January of this year. It only stuck around for like a few hours and then it melted. So which is great because then you don't have to worry about getting snow tires and snow chains and all that kind of good stuff. You get to enjoy it for a few hours and then it's gone like it never happened. So
spring was nice. You do get April showers. We had the tornado, and that's something else we want to talk about with weather. So I remember asking about tornadoes when we were going to move here, and we were told by multiple people online, don't trust everything you read on Facebook. Don't even trust this blog because it's on the internet. This is just our opinion. But we were told, we have had tornadoes in Chattanooga, but it's like once every 11 years, and they haven't been that bad. You guys, we both have vlogs about the tornado, so we won't get into it too deep into the details. You can watch them, we'll link them down below. But on Easter Sunday we had one of the worst tornadoes that completely devastated the neighborhood around us. We were blessed that it did not do anything to us. We were safe. A lot of people lost their lives and their homes, and our heart goes out to them. But tornadoes do happen here. I don't care where you live. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not at risk for a tornado. That being said, I'm still not scared to live here because of tornadoes. I don't think it's anything different than a bad earthquake in California.
Right. And for the most part, we had tornado warning all day on Easter. We were hearing on social media that, hey, there's a possible tornado could come in the area. Just be prepared. We didn't know really what to expect, and we did buy a tornado radio, or
a satellite, a weather radio. It's off of the solar, or it has batteries, or you can charge it. It was like $20 on Amazon. Buy one. If you're moving to Tennessee, buy one.
Right. So we had that, and then that started going off once in a while, which was more scary than anything because that thing is so loud. And you'll hear that on Ashley's vlog about the tornado. But yeah, and people were telling us, oh my God, we haven't had a tornado here in this area for like 10 years. I said, well, y'all had one because we came here from California.
You're welcome, Tennessee.
Yeah. So, but like Ashley said, it's not something that would deter me from, again, choosing to move to Chattanooga.
Not at all.
And as far as in California, we would get earthquakes, but we never had a warning. They just happened. Our warning was when the earthquake actually hit. And who knows? California is supposed to drift off into the ocean one day. Hopefully it doesn't.
Fall has been my favorite season here so far, and you guys, the fall colors are amazing. First of all, I like it because it you have Thanksgiving, and then it's my birthday, which I don't really want to get older, so maybe not so much the birthday anymore, but it's beautiful here. Like today we're going into winter now, but it's like fall weather today. Like it's cloudy. You get a lot of cloudy days here because there's more, I guess, moisture in the air. But the weather's been absolutely gorgeous. We have had some rainy days, but the colors right now, all the leaves have fallen, so you're not seeing the colors behind us. But during the peak time, like the beginning of November, middle of November, it's so gorgeous. Going to the Smokies, absolutely breathtakingly stunning. Like this whole area is absolutely gorgeous. It's been my favorite season. Leading into winter, tell them, I know you already mentioned the snow, but like briefly, winter, how was the weather in winter?
Last winter, I'm trying to remember, like I said, we had a little bit of snow in January. I actually feel like this winter's probably going to be a little bit colder just because we have had some frost like on the cars and on roofs of the houses.
It does get colder here than California because there's more moisture in the air, so it's kind of a wet bone chill cold.
Well, I think everywhere gets colder than California.
Yes. Another question we get a lot is, how do Tennessee people view California people? If you guys ever go through the comments on our YouTube channel, you might have an idea of some. But tell us, go ahead and start off from your perspective. How do you feel that you've been accepted since moving here?
When I've met people for the first time, they're like, where are you from? And then I say I'm from California. And then maybe like 8 out of 10 times I get like, oh my God, what part? So am I. That's the most of the reactions that we get. It's like, oh my God, I'm from California too. I'm from like Fresno. I'm from San Diego. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I grew up in Temecula. Oh my God, I know where that's at. I have family in like whatever place too. So that's a lot of the response that I get. Like Ashley said, on our YouTube channels, we get a lot of like, oh, leave your liberal ideas behind in California. If you're not conservative, like, we don't want you here. But I haven't met those kind of people out. And
well, because they're probably keyboard warriors. They just say that behind the keyboard and then they're nice to your face.
Right. So, and another response that I get, it's like, oh, that's great. Like, I'm glad you got out of California when you did, because, it's going downhill and stuff. So I haven't experienced a negative response to me saying I'm from California. Now, are they thinking it a negative thing? Who knows? But but out here in the South, people genuinely speak their feelings. They don't like try and hide it, like, for appearances. They'll tell you what they feel and how they feel. So, how about for you?
I agree with what you said. I've never felt unwelcome here by anyone. I mean, obviously, when we've done our Trump stuff, we do get flipped off by young children who like to do that. But as far as the adults in the room, I haven't felt ever unwelcome. When I've told people I'm from California, it's usually like a welcome. And like Mel said, 9 times out of 10, or how she said 8 times out of 10, you get like, oh my gosh, I'm from San Francisco. Like, I know so many people who just moved here from California, like within the past year. So I feel like we should start like a club for like former California refugees,
California exiters, or something
who fled to Tennessee. But yeah, they on our YouTube channel, they go off. They obviously haven't watched our entire channel, but I've never felt unwelcome at all. Everyone that I've encountered has been super kind. And warning, if you don't feel like talking, don't ask how people are doing. Just get your stuff and get out, because they're so nice. They'll sit there and like talk your ear off for 20 minutes. And you know about their kids and their husband and their horse and all the different things. So yeah, it's a whole different world than California. Right. People are more, they like each other. California, everyone's so focused in their own like blinders on, and they don't want anyone outside or inside their bubble. Well, it can be like that too, but it's just different. Like, people are just more low key. Like, they don't really care. It's not, I felt like in California, a lot of times it was like a fashion show, and you have to have status and you have to have money and blah blah blah. And it's like, here, it's just people.
Right. And for the most part, when someone out here asks you, like, how are you, or how is your day, they legit want to know, how are you doing, or how is your day going? Like, so, and then you ask them, back once you're done explaining, and then let you know how their day is going. So it's great. You, like Ashley said, if you're in a rush, put on your California attitude and just go straight to what you need to get and get out. That being said, another thing that people told me when I would tell them that I'm moving out here to Tennessee is, well, why would you want to move out there? People are racist. So, I want to say I have not encountered a racist person out here. Are there racist people? Probably. There's some in California. Unfortunately, racism exists. But I'm not out here looking for a racist person, or I'm not over here like, oh my God, I'm Mexican, there's a bunch of white people around me, like, well, how are they going to feel? Honestly, I don't care. Even if there was a racist person, I'm not going to live my life in fear of what anyone is going to think, whether it's regard my race, because I'm a female, whatever. Like, I could care less. I've been asked a lot, like, how does it feel being a Mexican out in Chattanooga? Now I would say that I did tell Ashley, like, before moving out here, like, I wonder how, like, if there's gonna be a lot of Mexicans out here, just because I love Mexican food and I want to be able to shop at like a Mexican carniceria. And I was actually surprised about how many Hispanics and Mexicans there are out here. There's a lot. There's a lot of Spanish churches. There's a lot of Mexican stores, the carnicerias and stuff like that. And I don't know. I haven't experienced racism here. I didn't even experience racism in California. Actually, no, I take that back. The only racism I did receive in California was from another Mexican because I was wearing a Trump shirt. So that's the only racism I've ever experienced actually in my life. So,
and since moving here, I'd like to note we've traveled to 11 states. Yeah. 10 states, over this summer. Washington, D.C., Virginia, all over the South. We're in Georgia all the time, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. But we've been to all these southern states, and I don't think she's ever, I can't speak for her, but I've never had her tell me that anyone was racist towards her.
Right.
In any of those places.
Right. And I mean, some people are actually like, hey, I've had people ask me like, hey, how do you say this in Spanish? Or, you know, just like having a friendly conversation. And I don't know, I think if most of us would just view everyone as just a human being and not by color, the world would be a better place in general. And I think there would be maybe a lot more people that would leave California and go to southern states because I haven't encountered racism. Is there racist people? Maybe. I just haven't encountered them. There's so much to do out here in Chattanooga and Tennessee. And I know you've had family come out here to visit and you've, you know, taken them to different places. What would you say, I don't know, like one or two of your favorite places to go, either in Chattanooga itself or around?
Well, we've already covered the Smokies. Fall Creek Falls State Park is another one. Any of the state parks out here are beautiful. Near Chattanooga, when my family came out, we took my niece and nephew, and I have a vlog on that too on my channel, to the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga. Amazing. Amazing. It's 2 giant buildings full of animals. If you have kids, I mean, I'm an adult, and honestly, I would go back even without my niece and nephew. But if you have kids, it's definitely a place to take your family. That was really, really, really fun. Another place that's cool near Chattanooga is the Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Battlefield. And it's just a Civil War battlefield. It's very historical. There's like a museum where you go in. You can watch a film for free. It's like 30 minutes long about the Civil War. That film may be a little much for younger kids because there is some violence in it, and my niece got a little frightened. There's a museum of all the guns used in the Civil War. There's a little store, and then you could do like a self-guided tour to all the different monuments from where Civil War events happen. It's also a cool spot to go jogging or walking or hiking, and it's free to go. It's all free unless you buy something at the store, but it's all free to access. That's about 25 minutes from where we live. It's a fun thing to do with family, especially if you're into Civil War and that sort of history. It's a lot of fun, and those are 2 things that are near Chattanooga that are great for bringing family and friends to.
Yeah.
What about you, Mel?
So you took away the battlefield from me. That's one of my favorite places to go as well. We haven't gone there because we've been going to other places and exploring. But so I love going to the battlefield. Usually we see deer when we go out there, and it's just beautiful and peaceful. Like it's so quiet out there, and I mean there's all these like fields of grass. You want to just go there and like lay there and
or roll.
Yeah, either one, and take a nap if you're not rolling. But another one of my favorite places to go is just downtown Chattanooga itself. It's not like a typical downtown where you're having to fight for traffic and stuff. You can always find parking. Walking across the bridges is one of my favorite things to do. Haven't been able to ride a bike yet across it, but I will soon. And yeah, it's just so cool down there. Like it's all the vibes down there are cool. Walking around, we've been able to walk around downtown, chat with friends, and there's all kinds of things to do down there. From there's restaurants, there's breweries, and some of the breweries have trivia night, which is cool. And yeah, it's a really cool place to be down there. That's where the aquarium is. There's a rock climbing gym down there, and it's just overall it's a good time. So
cool coffee shops.
Yeah,
it's fun to go downtown.
Right.
In closing, do you have any final thoughts? Like maybe something that's not the main topics that we talked about that you wanted to just something interesting about Tennessee that you maybe didn't know when you moved here, or just something interesting about life in general here?
I just want to reiterate, life out here in Tennessee is a lot more stress-free because you're not having to deal with all the traffic. You're not having to deal with all the rude people. The gas prices, I think the most I've seen gas prices out here is $1.99, which is not close to California. But I love it out here. And yeah, there's times where it's like I wish my family were closer, but again, they're just a plane ride away. And just the freedom of being out here. We've been out here for a few hours, and it's just peaceful.
There's no one around.
There's no one around us. And right, and it's just a different lifestyle. It's a lot slower pace. However, the drivers out here like to tailgate for some reason.
But why is that though?
And I think that's because our freeways or our highways is like 2 lanes.
And it's like 55 miles
And
an
it's
hour.
55 miles an hour. So I still have my California, foot pedal driver. So I'm still like in like 75, 80. But yeah, drivers out here do like to tailgate. And I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. Ashley has picked up on the tailgating, that's for sure. But yeah, if anyone is still on the fence, like, hey, should I leave California to any state? You know what? Just do it, because if it comes out to like, hey, I really don't like it where I chose, you could either one, go back, which you probably won't want to go back, or two, you can go and find somewhere else that you think you would like more than the city that you picked. So just do it. Life is short. Make a better life for yourself, for your family, and you won't regret it.
That's all that we have for you guys today. We actually, I really enjoyed doing this, especially because there's like we're like max social distancing right now. There's like no one. I think we're the only ones at this park. But we've enjoyed talking with you guys and doing this so much.
Thank you everybody for watching our 1 year recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. That's all I have for you guys today. See you guys on the next one, and Merry Christmas.